So this game has done a lot of EZAs. I think EZAs is one of the greatest things that Dokkan has done. Being able to revive an old unit that's been out of meta for a while and bring them back into a current meta, or even just help out certain teams is very good for the game, and it keeps the longevity of the game going. However, there are some mishaps that have happened and some EZAs that weren't really handled well for like the time period that they were in, or just maybe not what the community wanted. That's kind of what this video is going to be about. I have a few like honorable mentions, kind of, and the honorable mentions is kind of like the opposite of what the video is going to be going over. So a lot of the units I'm going to be talking about are they kind of held back with certain units. Like for example, like AGL Super Vegito is a unit that they held back with, I would say, for both his EZA and his Super EZA. But these like other unit, these honorable mention units, are ones that they didn't hold back with, especially like I would even say that they were too good for their time being, or for like the content and whatnot. We'll go, and I'm gonna go over a weird one, which is Super Saiyan, or this LR free to play Vegito Blue. So a long time ago, unit got released. Very good unit. At the time, 2017, free to play LR Vegito Blue, very awesome, right? Standalone, not summonable, which right? EZA in 2022, and this is his EZA when he released. However, before this, there was actually a different kit that he had, and it was this. I actually had to do some searching. Shout out to Team Ronmy. His old passive was 100% attack and defense, raise key up to 10, less HP the greater the key, medium chance of 5 key, launch additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack when performing ultra super attack, key +2 disables enemy guard when there's another future target category ally attack in the same turn. So kind of ass, right? Like not really getting too much. He got an extra 20% on attack and defense, and that's it. He was just basically getting additional super attack. So he was not great. This was not a great EZA. But they actually buffed him. They actually complained a lot, and they buffed him to give him 10% attack and defense up to 50 with each super attack performed. And then the additional has a high chance of becoming a super attack when performing ultra super attack. So that actually did give him more stats. I think the only other time this has happened was with Super Saiyan 3 physical Gotenks. There was something with this kid. I think it was something with like HP, like HP reduction or something like that, like the super attack effect, and people complained about it and they got rid of it. I think that's what that was. I'm pretty sure. But this was like an almost mishandled EZA, right? So I figured this one would be good to mention, because I don't know if a lot of people remember this. I remember when this happened, I was kind of confused on like why he didn't get like anything in his passive, and then they added this, and he actually was like, he was actually fairly good for the EZA. And to get into the other honorable mention units, Buhan, not his EZA, but his Super EZA. I think he was way too good. Like so. I mean, like I said, it's 2025, January 30th, 2025, so 10th year anniversary. We got like new power creep and whatnot. So maybe he wasn't too good, right? But you look at like all the other villain units, and he's just the best villain unit, right? Am I crazy? I think he was the best villain unit at the time, and I'm not a fan of nuking units. I'm really not. I like consistency with numbers. But he's changing key spheres to rainbow. He's launching additional super attack, and starting from the 5th turn, he's also making int key spheres. So he's double orb changing. So you're consistently getting like 7-8 orbs with this guy. And for every rainbow key sphere, he gets damage reduction up to 66%. At the time, there was like bosses weren't killing this guy. He also had support. If there was a superclass enemy, I mean, even if extreme class, but he had better support on a superclass team. So, and better stats. Greatly lowering attack, which I mean, kind of irrelevant, but still great link set. This guy was way too good when he dropped, and I say way too good comparative to the other EZA that dropped with him, which is AGL Super Vegito, which we'll get into him in a minute. But this is almost like a mistake EZA. I would also say the same for them. They dropped in the hit celebration, and hit was good. Hit's good. That team did need help, and this unit really did fit the role. But they're so good. Like they're so good. It's insane to see like the Universe 6 team, and you have some like flubs here and there. Hit's really good. SR Kefla is like kind of usable still. Oh, mine's going blank. On the hit team, you can run Hidden God Goku, which is also like a pretty good unit. And you have the Universe 6 or the Exchange Kale and Khalifa, all good. And you kind of needed like just another good solid unit. And this unit's more than solid. I mean, greatly stacking with having 1, 2, 3 chances of additionals if you count the hidden potential system, with also a 50, 70, 90% chance to dodge, right? When you meet all the requirements and everything. And when they transform, Kefla's launching 2 more super attacks, 70% chance to dodge, orb changing, for just existing, by the way. This is just basic effects. Recovers HP, receives 200% defense when receiving an attack, which is very good, coupled with the fact that they greatly stack defense on super attack in their base form, and then she supports. And this is like this doesn't look like a lot, but just the stats alone, as well as the stacking and base form, really say a lot. And I mean, if you look at compared to the base EZA, I mean, she got quite a bit. Got this on receiving an attack, and they gave her support on 6 keys for sustaining instead of more attack, right? Very good. And she is one of the, like, I think they're one of those units where it's like, all right, I think they knew that Universe 6 was kind of ass, so they really stepped it up with this team, or with this unit specifically, to make them super good. That's great. That's I mean, that's what you need for or at least a category like Universe 6, right? A category like Universe 6 does need like a really big help. And when you make a unit this good, and then you have a unit like this where that also supports that category too, is very nice. And like tournament participants, Universe Saga, like those will get buffs in the future, so it's different in that aspect. But this unit came out for Universe 6 for the hit team, so it was needed. Speaking of that, this Kefla EZA. Now, this Kefla EZA came out 2024. Right, 2024 on global, February 2024. So a little over a year ago, about a year and a half ago. They release her on JP, and I think at the time she was pretty good. But she came out a little early on global, and she was, I would argue, like probably top 5 units in the game at the time, right? Because she was the only one that was hitting like consistent 15-20 million attack stats in this form, at least. Her only thing was like she relied on dodge, which to me is not a problem. Because she also got like quite a bit of defense, so like she could tank some of the normals at the time. But she was also just hitting so hard, and I mean, getting all this attack. I mean, like 160% attack right there, launching additional super attack, launching another additional super attack. So we're talking about a unit that's greatly stacking attack, launching 3-4 supers a turn with up to 70% chance to dodge, right? And even like 50 base. I mean, she was a menace back then. And like I would argue she's still runnable now just for the fact that she has dodge. And when we're not like a heavy dodge canceling meta, like it's fine. Because she still puts up decent numbers as far as attack goes. I mean, can she tank normals? No, but like most dodge units can't, so it's like, it's whatever. They kind of just you're running them in slot 3, hoping that they live, right? So, all right. Now to get that out of the way, these are starting from now. These are all EZAs. I think they just handled poorly, or they just they either handled poorly, or at the time it's just like they kind of just didn't give the character much, or like why wouldn't they give them certain things, or why would they take away certain things? So we'll get into it, and it's kind of all over the place. I don't really have it like a specific order. This is just kind of like what I put together. So for first this point of discussion, I brought up Rose and Vegito, and Rose was okay on release. Vegito was definitely underwhelming. I mean, to talk about Vegito first, I mean, he has no attack for just existing, right? And he only gets attack when he performs attack. He has to do 10 attacks to get his max attack. And he also stacks attack and defense, which is nice. Disables enemy guard. Wow, fantastic. One of the best lines of text in the game. But he just like it felt like he doesn't do any damage, right? He didn't do any damage at the time. And like, this is 2022. Like, he's not exactly like a new unit, right? This is not a new EZA. But even at the time, it's like he just wasn't doing a lot. I mean, when he released, I mean, granted, he didn't have like any defense in his kit, but this is also a 2018 unit. You know, they didn't do a lot of shit in 2018, 2017, 2018. They didn't really do a lot of shit. So, but he was like super good back then. And I mean, same with Rose. Like, Rose was like masterclass support. Nice attack at the time, lowering attack and defense on for superclass enemies. Support on super attack, which was insane. And I mean, they made him. I mean, they definitely made him better. They gave him more support for Realm of Gods Extreme class allies, which at the time, I mean, you had, like the Goku Black. You had this. You had this guy. Tech. Goku Black and Zamasu. I don't know why I just flipped his name there. You know, you had the AGL Zamasu. You had like decent Realm of Gods Extreme class units at the time. You know, in 2022. And then they added this though, and I mean, quite literally, this EZA is just this. Because at the time, you weren't getting this. You were not getting this. I think at the time you were actually having to float this guy. Like, I don't think it was like one of the best units on the teams. It was more like a 5th or 6th unit, if I remember correctly. So getting this is not very, very easy. Now when you got this, he was actually pretty good. It's just, you know, 2022, huh? Wait a second. This was post 7th anniversary, right? Oh, these guys are awful. It just hit me that this is 2022. I was thinking, for some reason I was like 2021. It's like, it's okay. No, dude, 2022 is like, that was 7th anniversary, right? You guys sucked. What the fuck? Why'd they do that? They're ass. Never mind. Not even worth talking about. LR Gohan. So his Super EZA is like super good. Super good Super EZA. Did a really, really good job. To be fair, 10th anniversary, so it's like, yeah, a lot of units 10th anniversary are just super, super good. But if you look at his base form, receives additional 1 key per key certain, the LR Gohan mechanic, true and true. And then 18 attack for every key certain. So he was like one of the best nukers at the time. He had such a high attack and defense, attack per key certain. Very, very good. You know, in 2017, right? But then he EZAs, I mean, they just gave him defense, which is nice, but he's putting up the same numbers as he did before. Because, I mean, he already greatly raised attack on 18 key, which he already had. right? Like he was hitting the same numbers, and for the content of time, I mean, it's 2021, so 6th anniversary, so like he was definitely, I mean, he was definitely tankier, but they didn't really do anything with him. And like I said, Super EZA, they went to town. They did a lot. They gave him a good little revamp. So his Super EZA definitely deserves all the talk about. But his EZA is like, they didn't do anything. They gave him 58% defense, 58% defense. That was it. They could have put this up to 20 at least, right? But no, they didn't. And it was kind of a sad thing, because this was the first. No, he wasn't the first LREZA. That was Goku and Frieza. Goku and Frieza were the first LREZA. But this was one that people, like, when they came out, they were like, oh my god, they're gonna start doing like the original Son of LREZAs, right? So, and I mean, the Goku and Frieza were pretty, like, they were good at the time. Especially for their celebrations. They came out with 6th year anniversary, I think. I'm remembering that correctly. So, but yeah. I'm not gonna talk much about this guy. Base form, they have him have 10% defense, no defense. To be fair, 2018 unit. EZA, they still kept this. Why do they still keep this? I couldn't tell you. And the reason this is an issue is because, like, we can go look at the timeline real quick. Just to bring up a specific unit. And like I said, I don't want to get too into it, but this guy, I believe, was the next EZA. So November 6, 2020 is going to be 20 October. Wait. I think on JP this unit came out first, and then they dropped this unit second. I think that's how that worked. But anyways, this guy was just like way better. Like, he was just like so much better than the Broly at the time. And Grant, I mean, no defense on EZA, but like, this is also 2020. Like, it's not. We're going back. So it was such a weird thing that they did. They just made the Super 17 so much better for no reason. Super Vegito, I already mentioned it. They didn't do much with his EZA. I mean, base form, he just has 8% damage reduction and then counters. The EZA, they gave him a little bit of attack and defense, a scatter at 40% or less HP, which you never see. And then the same thing. They didn't do much. I think they were just kind of afraid of, you know, making him super strong. And then his Super EZA, they tried to make it kind of similar to the Buhan, except they just couldn't, right? Like, and what's super funny is so damage reduction 80%, temper, and then counters, right? 80%. They lowered it to 40, but they gave him base 40% damage reduction, so it's okay. But they did this so he could survive super attacks, which he's not doing. he's not doing that. Scatter for 2 turns and guards when 50% with HP 50% or less. 2025, you were just dying to super attacks. You weren't really. It was kind of hard to get under 50% HP. I think any health restriction now is just kind of pointless. It's very rare you see units like barely survive, right? Because usually if a unit barely survives, the other units in a rotation will probably just end up dying anyways. And we also didn't have a lot of like super class enemies. I guess we had like a mix at the time of his Super EZA, so this wasn't the worst thing. I believe we had more super class though, so having this over this kind of sucks. But yeah, I mean, but the problem with Vegeta units, like, I keep saying like, I'm sorry, I just woke up. The problem with Vegeta units is that they all are super attack magnets. They all kind of just end up getting super attack no matter what, so it's like not much you can do with that. You know, it happens. But I feel like, just comparative to Buhan, this guy is just underwhelming. So my I was talking to my friend about this whole list in general, and he brought this guy up, and I was kind of like, well, why is he getting brought up? Like, he's just a banner unit. Well, if you look at this guy, this is okay. That's not. I fucking hate that shit so much. now I gotta go find the unit. Well, I guess I could just search up God Goku, huh? Right here. So this guy, we're having a high chance of guarding. You know, after receiving attack, it gets the attack and defense 77% for 3 turns. Medium chance of launching additional super attack. Great chance of stunning the enemy. So this, like, this guy's kit was, like, fucking nigh useless. If you didn't hit this, you were dying. This medium chance is awful. Great chance of stunning the attack enemy. Awesome. You were not stunning enemies anymore. In 2022, this is 2016. What was 2016? It was 6 years ago. Sorry. 6-year anniversary. Jesus Christ. I can't fucking talk. 6-year anniversary. 2025, 2022. 7th year anniversary. Jesus, I can't fucking think. The Goku was very. That's funny because I also said 2022 was 7th year anniversary earlier. Goku is super good. Super good. Amazing. This is insane. Getting this, insane. Rainbow orb changing paired really well with where they at. This unit, which also released, right? Like, so good. They just did not do my boy Vegeta right at all. Because, like, you weren't stunning fucking Broly at the time. If you didn't guard, you were just dying. You were dying without it. You were dying with it. Like, he's not exactly tanky. This guy was tanky. This guy was great. This guy was not. and for like, I don't think they did anything like too crazy with this guy. I don't think they did like a mishandle with this guy. I think they made him just as good as they wanted to, and that's what this team needed. Like, just more tanky units, especially at the time, because the meta shift was so crazy. And to be fair, you already had this. They just put pure Saiyans on there. So, So this guy releases, right? 2017. Superclass allies attack down 10%, attack 120%. This is not an issue. This is a non-issue because you're running this guy on extreme teams anyways, right? Why does he still have this on his EZA? I mean, this is also at a time where, like, they just didn't give a fuck. They want to keep the units about the same, like, as far as, like, flavor wise and everything goes. This is still fucking ridiculous though, right? I think when I played, I had this guy. I pulled this guy. I used him a little bit, and then I think I EZA'd him, and I never used him. I think I don't remember the last time I've used this unit. Right, and granted, like, you know, it's been a while, obviously, like over 5 years. But even post EZA, right? I mean, I was probably using this unit around when he released, but then, like, when he EZA'd, I just wasn't using him. Like, when they keep shit like this in the passives for EZAs, it's just ridiculous. And like I said, 2020, it's a whole different time period. But, like, if they did that now, right? If we're keeping negatives now, you know, people are gonna have issues. Oh, brother. I mean, this guy just... It was one of those things where they held back, right? And 2023 was just, like, a really bad year for a lot of units. This guy in the Super Brew... I don't have the Super Brew on this list. I don't think I do. I don't have the Super Brew on this list specifically because they just did not have good, like great Boo units at the time. And then whenever the Boo tanks EZA, then he was okay. This guy just wasn't ever really good. And it was another thing where he's just getting super attacked, like, all the time. It's like you can't really see this guy like do well because he's just dying to super attacks. But that's like all Vegeta units, right? All Vegeta units do that. So I don't want to talk too much about it. They just held back with this guy. It sucked. This guy was just ass. This guy just sucked. 2024 EZA. This is a Super Battle Road unit. What are we struggling with Super Battle Road in the Big 25? In the huge 2025, huh? Huge year 2025? Struggling Super Battle Road, huh? If he had this up, he was okay. If he had this up, he was okay. You need to have this and this up for him to be like actually pretty decent. We aren't stunning enemies. We aren't stunning bosses anymore. This attack spectre and types, like, sure. It helps. Attacking 12 more key. High chance of stunning the attacked enemy. Awesome. Dude, fantastic. I love stunning enemies that can't be stunned. When they are stunned, you perform a crit. Cool. And then if they're this enemy, you perform a crit. So, like, the crit on this restriction is nice. And, I mean, you had the Universe Survival Saga Supreme Magnificent Battle, so you had the Goku Frieza fight, the Yoi Goku fight, but the bosses can't be stunned. There weren't 2 or more enemies, so you couldn't get the damage reduction. This guy is ass in that event. That's like the one event you want to use him, right? Awful. Awful EZA. Oh, this one is a little bit different, right? I think they mishandled this EZA because this is when they started doing EZAs right away. And they kind of had this phase where for free-to-play units where they would drop a free-to-play unit, then drop the Awakening, then drop the EZA in like the same celebration. I am not a fan of this. Because if you look, right, this guy dropped February 12th, 2019, and then he EZA'd on the same day. And I mean, they didn't change much from his base kit, right? I mean, they gave him a leader skill, and this leader skill was actually, like, alright. But, I mean, they just increased the limits of his stats a little bit, and they gave him key. They also gave him 10% on basic. Like, they didn't do anything with his EZA. And all this does, all instant EZAs do, is they make it to where they don't have a chance in the future. Like, this guy could have EZA'd maybe 3 years later. You know, in the 7th anniversary. Along with, like the tech God Goku and the STR Vegeta, which this unit came out like this unit came out with those units. This unit dropped with the physical Broly and Amparagus, and the AGL Super Gogeta, or Super Saiyan Gogeta, sorry, and Tech God Goku and STR God Vegeta, and they all got their, like, the Dokkan Fest got their EZAs a little bit later, right? But this guy EZA'd right away, while the Tech God Goku and the STR Vegeta EZA'd, you know, in the 7th anniversary, where they actually helped. Well, God Goku helped, right? So that's weird on their part. I hope they don't do this shit again, because this is like, ugh, it's not great. I mean, could Magetta use an EZA? Yeah, but I'm not getting that discussion. 2023 sucked. Oh, sorry, this is 2024. I guess this is before he dropped in 2023 on JP, so like this is a little bit different. So pre-sync 2024. This is a 2023 EZA. He sucks. Great chance to orb change. Why are we doing that? Great chance to orb change. Why are we doing that? Okay, we're finally orb changing, right? Yeah, we're finally orb changing. Greatly raising defense, which is nice. More orb changing, which is again nice. Still greatly stacking defense. And then you would think, oh, after 5 transformations, it's got to be good. No. I mean, disable enemy guard. Wow, dude, that's awesome. Crits when he collects all key spheres, that's cool. But he's not stacking anymore. He's just launching more super attacks. And this guy just did not hit hard. Like, he hit hard for that one turn, and then after that, it's just... It kind of sucked. I think he dropped with the Super Trunks or the Super Trunks unit, the Tech Super Trunks. And Tech Super Trunks is awful. And they were like, okay, we really need a new unit for this team for it to actually like work well. And then they dropped this guy's EZA, and it's just like they dropped the ball. And Broly, my biggest thing with Broly is that the celebration that he came with was super good. This is a super good celebration. That's where you had Tech Broly, the physical trio, the Family Kamehameha unit, the LR Int Broly. And they did a really good job on all the EZAs for that celebration. I mean, one I remember specifically is STR Broly. STR Broly was so good. Let me see if I can pull him up. Should be like right here. Yeah. So his Super EZA drops, and I mean, this guy's just a monster. Rainbow Orb changing on the Broly team. Damage reduction after performing a super attack. Every Rainbow Keysphere obtained, he's supporting. Excuse me. For every 2 Keyspheres obtained, he's doing another super attack and critting. On the off chance you get 4 Rainbow Keyspheres, he's just guaranteed critting 2 super attacks, giving 80% attack and defense support and 4 key to extreme class allies, as well as getting at least up to guaranteed 30% damage reduction with this. Now, and the other way this guy worked was if you're in a fight with multiple enemies, each attack of those enemies procs this. So if you're going up against at the very least 2 enemies, well, we'll say 3 for if you only get 2 Rainbow Keyspheres. If you get 4 Rainbow Keyspheres going up against 2 enemies, you're fully building this up. 2 Rainbow Keyspheres with 3 enemies, you're fully building this up. This guy was insane. And then they dropped this guy, because I think this Super EZA dropped September 25th, 2024, September 3rd. So this guy dropped first, and he was just like kind of okay. Wasn't like super great. I wonder how he plays in Festival of Battles. I don't think this guy's a great Festival of Battles, I'll be honest with you, because he does greatly stack. But it's just they didn't really add much. I mean, they gave him like a good stat boost. Gave him this 26% is that's a sizable amount, 26%. And they gave him like another set right here. It's like, okay, if you're going up against a Goku, you launch just a super attack, and you get more damage reduction and crit, which is nice, but just they didn't really do much with him, I feel like. Count Khalifa, when they drop are the best unit in the game by far. I don't care if anyone says. Then the EZA, they had to hold back because they were like, oh, we can't have this happen again, so they held back on their EZA a lot. Mind you, in a time where they really needed it in 2023, they dropped with AGL Kale. 2023, one of the worst years for Dokkan. Really needed this unit to be good, and then they just weren't. Yeah, that sucked. Last one I have is Ginyu. And this is a recent one. This is June 2025. This guy is good. I don't want that to be. I don't want it to seem like I'm coming off like I'm hating on this unit. I think this unit is good. However, I think the problem with this unit is they dropped him, and instead of making him more towards the Tau unit, they basically honed in on the Ginyu Force part. Tau dropped with mission execution, and mission execution needed more units. It's not a great category. So the EZA, the Ginyu, the Rikumen Goldo, and then the Jason Birder. The problem is that they made them all Ginyu Force based, and the banner units, they made them Ginyu based. So if you're running Tao's mission execution team, you're basically running. If you're running these 3, you're having to run Ginyu Force with Mercenary Tao as a leader, and that's not. I don't think that's how you should run Mercenary Tao's team. So is it cool that they kind of they kind of brought back Ginyu Force a little bit? Sure, but I mean, they could have just. They could have, in my opinion, what they should have done is they made him mission execution support, and they do the same thing with mission execution, but then they give like massive, he already does give massive support to Ginyu Force. They could have had this, but instead like per mission execution category ally on the team, right? When there's another mission execution on the team, because at this point now you're giving him a more broad category to work with, as well as keeping it in the same field of Ginyu Force, because they're all on mission execution already, right? It wouldn't have hurt to do that, and I don't think his second form isn't that bad, right? Yeah, I mean, it's his is all just like base stuff. However, to get Scouter, you need Jace on the team, so it's like it's not great. It wasn't great for the time. I think he's okay. It's just that's not what the time period needed, right? That's about it. I mean, let me know if there's any other like EZAs that were kind of mishandled. And like some EZAs were just bad, but I really think the difference between being bad and then mishandled is just how they did the unit, because like AGL Super Vegito, the EZA, he wasn't great because they held back, and then the Super EZA, I don't want to say they held back, but he was just so much worse than the Imbuhan. The Imbuhan was a mistake EZA though. So it's, you know, let me know if I missed anything. Thank you for watching.